At 31 years old, I'm pretty sure this, above all else, exposes all of us if we give it enough time.
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still think.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl TJ back. Another video talks with TJ, aka TJ2 Swoosh T Yeezy MA2 TJ. Thank you again so much for tuning into another video. And yeah, there is something that exposes all of us. And again, give it enough time, and it truly does, I think, expose a lot of us. And that's time itself. Like, time itself is the biggest factor of exposure, I think, in all areas of life. It doesn't matter if it's, personally, creatively, if you're talking about your own individual growth, if you're talking about goals that you've set, and it can be like in the gym or with your health or on the job or something you do on the side. I think truly time will expose you, and I think it will actually prove you either are everything you said that you were out to the world, or maybe even to yourself, or that you're not. And maybe that will force you to be a little bit more self-aware, to take a step back and ask yourself, hey, is this really what I wanted? Whatever I'm pressing towards, whatever I'm trying to get to, is this really what I want? Or was it just a great thing to throw up on a vision board at the time because everybody else was doing it, or my friends were doing it, or those I admire and I'm inspired by did it, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be, or maybe I wasn't what I thought it would be. And, when you look at how long this year has been, 2021 has been a long year, and because we're in sneakers, I think of that in terms of releases. Like, think back to the very first pair of sneakers you bought in 2021. For me, it was that Nike SB Blazer that you guys saw in a previous video this weekend, and I think back to like how many other sneakers I've bought since then. That's a lot of shoes. It's been a long year, but it's also seemed like a very fast year because of everything going on. Time just seems to roll into each other like day to day. But a lot of us probably set goals in the beginning of January, and now we're looking, and time has exposed a lot of us, including myself, weren't as committed to some of those goals as we claimed we were, right? For a lot of people, and this is an easy one to go, this is low-hanging fruit, but saying that, oh, like I have this fitness goal in mind or this health goal, time will really expose us there. How committed are we? How disciplined are we, more than anything else, to hit the goal that we said we would hit? And you give it time, and you become more laxed and more lenient, and you just fall off of whatever regimen you set, and time exposes you really weren't that committed. I think time exposes that creatively as well, and I think just because listening to a lot of Gary Vee, and if you look at things that are truly sustainable, but I guess maybe have some level of success that people would consider it, I'm definitely not talking about myself, but it always takes longer than what you thought. Like, if you thought it would take you X amount of weeks or months or years, it usually can take much longer than that. And I think you also, it's a good learning curve. You learn more about yourself maybe in that moment, but I think a lot of things take much longer than what we ever think. And even creatively, like when I thought getting to 1,000 subscribers, like, man, that takes longer than what you think. And past that, I remember somebody really just gave me a good gem to not focus on numbers, because it can drive you crazy. So I always love when you guys are like, yeah, like next goal is 50K, and I'm just like, that'll happen if it happens, because trying to push for that number, it can just be a lot. Now, time would expose myself, I think, just as an individual that is creating content, not just on this platform, but on other platforms as well. Am I committed to continuing to produce quality content that people want to engage with and they want to have a conversation about, or am I not? And I think a lot of creators have ambition of, just using their platform for something, to have a voice, for it to be a springboard. But I think time exposes they never really grasp how much work that takes. Like, if you ever see a creator complain about having to consistently post, or just trying to make sure that they have a cadence or a calendar, or they stay on point with that, it's because it's not that easy to come up with your own organic content to continue to post. And when you have regular life that's going on, because a lot of creators do a lot of other things on the side, like they may freelance, I understand for them it is definitely difficult, and depending on what your aesthetic is too, it's just hard. But if it's something that they truly want and they're trying to move their whole career to that, I would think that, hey, they're going to have to just bide their time and continue to put it in. Now, if they continue to drop the ball, like, well, a lot of us do in a lot of different things, time may expose them that, hey, maybe this isn't what you really wanted. And that happens in, you know, sports for people that say, hey, I want to make it to this level or that level. Okay, time will expose if that's really what you want, because if it is, you'll sacrifice some nights going out. You'll sacrifice, you know, foods that may not be advantageous to fuel your body to help you perform as well as you need to perform to reach that next level. Time will expose us all no matter what. And if we're not careful, we only have ourselves to blame, like ever, for anything. So listen, again, there were goals I set for this year and I'm just like, wow. Well, we are here almost at October, and time has really exposed that you didn't stick to those. Maybe a good time to look at 2022 right now, even though I get it some months away, and think, okay, what intentionally do I want to achieve, and will I make good on that, right? So when I look a year from now, time hasn't exposed me to the fact that I'm still not really putting in the work or really putting in the effort. And some people are already setting like sneaker goals to be diligent, like, hey, one sneaker a month so that they can stack their money in other ways and achieve some other things at the exact same time. I think that's awesome. I am personally not doing that goal of just like one sneaker a month next year. That's not on my list, but I think that takes so much discipline and diligent behavior, and I stand it, I support it, I'm all for it if that is something that anybody is doing. I know there are a few people in soul food that are doing that. Again, it's the first ever sneaker Twitter community. A few are doing it there, and I love it, support it. I will cheerlead for them, you know, to high heavens. But look ahead and think like, hey, am I going to be intentional on things that I'm setting for myself, or will time expose me to just letting myself down again like you possibly did this year? I know I did myself this year for some things, so I got to change that. But quick discussion video. If you like what you heard, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I truly appreciate it. And as always, Toosters crew, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace out.